following show features stupid opinions and ideas from two idiot brothers who probably did little research and practiced zero due diligence on the topic at hand. The developers' opinions do not reflect the views of their employer, guests, sponsors, families, neighbors, or pets. If you do not like what they are saying and don't agree with their views or opinions, don't watch the show. We can promise we do not care. Welcome to the worst show on the internet.
We are live. Good afternoon, evening.
Hey, everybody.
Check that sound.
I didn't check. I didn't do any kind of sound.
Now
check.
we're good. We're
Sound
good.
check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
All right, everybody. Hello. We are live from our studio in Pullman, Ohio. What is May 24th?
Third.
May 23rd. We are quickly approaching our event, our movie night.
It's coming up.
It's coming up quickly. Special thanks to our I'll do our commercials today. Our sponsors.
Don't forget about Kushner's too.
I know I gotta put that up there. It's been a busy day. Valley Insurance Group. Mayor Tim, he's above us, not now, but that's where he is. And they do great homeowners insurance. You have your insurance through him?
I do.
I do too.
Home and auto through Valley Insurance.
And then Brager Machine. You need something welded. You need something crafted. You need something.
A small part, fancy
smart
part made.
He can do it. So give him a call. And like lawnmower parts.
So I was thinking like welds. Yeah, like if I need like a weld on the back of my mower to pull something, like to pull a trailer.
You weld it.
Like he could weld a piece on for you.
We should have him on just to ask him, like,
what can you do?
What
sir?
can you weld?
What can't you do, Brager Machine? And then Kushner's.
And Kushner's, who's I didn't get a thing
They
yet.
have flowers and mulch, and I may or may not have bought a couple ton of stone off of them at a discount.
So we advertise.
So we advertise for them
because there's no way Randy would ever do that without some sort of.
No, he would never actually legitimately pay for advertising.
So let's meet our guest, shall we? Hello, Jen.
Hi.
Is it Jennifer? Jen. Jen's good.
Jen's good.
Okay.
Prefer Jen.
Attorney.
No,
Attorney.
just Jen.
Ciccone.
Ciccone.
I would say Ciccone.
You
Ciccone.
say whatever you want.
Okay.
I answered her a lot.
Ciccone's Batman.
Ciccone.
Bad guy in
Oh
Batman.
yeah. Absolutely.
Ciccone.
And then
Is my mic dead? Give me a
no, I'm turning it up. And then off in the distance where you can't see him is her husband. He's like right in between the screen. He's high. You're like in the perfect spot. Did you tell him to sit there?
Yeah, he said. I said if he wants to hide, he can sit there. If he doesn't, he can sit on the couch. If he wants to sit in the background and kind of be awkward.
Exactly. So
That's his MO.
awkwardly
He's
sit in
good.
the background.
Nobody can see him.
Correct.
Let's talk about you. Where are you from?
I was born in Seattle, Washington. My dad worked at Boeing, but they're both from Struthers. And we moved back here in 1990.
Okay.
So I was about 5 and was raised in Poland. Poland graduate.
Went to Poland?
Went
When did you
to
graduate from Poland?
2003.
2000. Oh, so you're around my wife's
I was
age?
a year. Your wife dated my cousin,
Who's your cousin?
Michael Ciccone.
I've heard that name before. No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, scandalous.
I know. She was
Scandalous.
a year older than me. Very
Okay.
lovely. Love her to this day.
Yeah, she's all right.
She's okay.
I like her.
People are always like, well, you know, she's a kindergarten teacher, right?
I'm
So-
trying to pull because I have 2 more.
Do you
coming
have?
up.
Yeah,
I'm
everybody.
like,
Yeah, but everyone's like, oh, Mrs. Schuster's so nice. I said, you should come after school sometime and tell me how nice she is at her house. Or
She's so meh.
Your oldest is my oldest. My son Cameron is age, and I'm like, I love your mom. Your mom's so nice, and he's like,
yeah,
stares at me.
yeah, Lucas.
Like,
Yeah, that's my son. So you have a Cameron.
I have So, well,
How old? What do you got? Kids?
Yeah, I have kids. Some of them.
Okay.
How many do we have now? 3. We're going on 3. We have a letter. We're going
3?
on. Yeah, 3. We have Cameron. He'll be 12 in July.
Okay.
He's in 6th grade in Poland.
Okay.
He's our sweetheart.
Yep.
We have our firecracker, Leo, who's 4.5.
Yep.
He starts full-day preschool in Poland next
Awesome.
year. And then we have Olive,
Okay.
and she just turned a year in April.
I love that
Oh,
name.
Olive.
I love that name.
Olive. That was my grandma's name.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Old school names are making a comeback.
Yeah, she's sassy too. She's a
Love it.
sassy girl.
Stacy just said, plot twist. Your cousin used to date Mrs. Schuster.
It's gonna get juicy here. I
It
told
is.
you.
It is.
I'm ready for anything.
So you go to Poland.
I go to Poland.
Graduate from Poland. Where'd you go after that?
I went to Mercyhurst College. It was a college then. Now it's a university. It's in Erie, PA.
Yep.
And I double majored in communications and marketing with an emphasis in crisis management. And that is not a real thing. You
Wait,
usually
marketing?
need
What is that again?
emphasis in crisis management.
Marketing with an emphasis in
crisis
communications
management.
too.
It's communication.
Oh, that's kind of like my degree. Okay.
So, it is very difficult to land a spot from there.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we could go 2 years for a master's or 3 years for law school. Lawyer sounds really cool, so I'm gonna try to go law school.
Originally, you didn't like with communications major. Were you just like, I'm just trying to get through school and not worry?
I started off for pre-med, and I got through the easy like organic chem wasn't a problem. Then I got to like the gross things, like the biology, and I was like, ooh, I don't do smells and I don't do gross things. So
yeah,
I quickly
medical field's probably not where you want to be with that.
Yeah,
and I went back into. I did speech and debate when I was in high school, so I didn't really know what I wanted to do. They kind of formulated I didn't know, so I picked 2 majors. So I have 2 bachelors. Mercyhurst is a small Catholic school. So then I got recruited to Ave Maria Law School, which is a small Catholic law school, and I ended up going
Ave Maria.
Ave Maria.
Oh,
Fun little history. You say you like to learn things. The guy who owned Domino's sold his shares and was like, I need to do right in the world, so I'm gonna open up a Catholic town.
A Catholic town?
Yeah. So he bought a bunch of swampland down in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And started developing this town. He's like, we need a university. So they opened up a university. And then he's like, we need a law school. So Ann Arbor, Michigan was where the law school started. And then it moved down to Naples, Florida. And Thomas Manahan was.
So you went to Florida?
I went to my last year of law school was in Naples, Florida.
In a Catholic town.
The Catholic town, the law school is in Naples. Ave Maria is the actual town. It's a little bit inland.
Nice.
And it's the most, last I checked, was ranked the most conservative, like university in school, because it is very Catholic and very conservative and very traditional.
Do they have
beautiful
priests and nuns as teachers or no?
As professors.
We had some.
Yeah.
We had some integrated, and then at the university as well too.
Huh.
We had some administration. It's very interesting. It's very, very beautiful school, and Ave Maria, the town is beautiful too. You can see.
Sorry, we're gonna sing it again one more time. I
think of Batman, where Riddler is singing Batman or singing Ave Maria. I was like,
no. And then graduate.
I graduated.
And then what?
I worked down in Florida for a little bit, and then I took a job for crisis management for Naples.
So wait. You graduated for law, and then you go do your actual degree.
Yes, because they're like, oh, Fancy Pants is a lawyer, which clearly didn't know very much at that point because I just graduated. So I went to work for an advertising agency doing crisis managing and marketing, and then I was assigned the director of it was Paradise Marketing at the time, and it was Naples, Everglades, and Marco Island. So we did the marketing, and then they also had a lot of crisis planning because back in the 2010 area, I don't know, you're probably too young. They had that huge oil spill off
BP oil spill.
Yep, they have hurricanes, so built into all these marketing plans is crisis management, and that was right there. Then I decided to have children and come back to lovely Northeast Ohio.
So where'd you meet the big guy at?
The big guy? Match.com.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
My man.
Nice.
So no, actually my older son was with my ex, who also is a police officer. I may have a type, but
your ex?
Yeah, so
your ex-husband
and my ex-fiance. Cameron's dad.
Cameron's dad.
He's from Meadville, but we met down in Florida.
Spicy.
We had Cameron.
Okay.
We moved back up here. It didn't work out. He's a police officer over in PA. He's lovely as well.
Okay.
And then someone's like, oh, you should do Match.com. I do it. And then he messages me and goes, oh, I'm a police officer. I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. You've done that a couple times. That's on.
Right.
I'm okay with that. And then the one day, I kind of ghosted him.
Yeah.
But when my free subscription was up, I wanted to jump back on. And he mentioned that he was a canine handler. And I was like, oh, I like dogs.
Got her with the pet. Got her with the dog.
So I was like, well, we're not going to date. Let's do a lunch meeting. And I would like to see. His dog was Rocky. He's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Rocky.
Awesome. So how long are you guys married for then?
6 years, May 6th.
Oh, congratulations. Close. Congratulations.
Yes.
Awesome. Good deal.
Best 6 years of my life.
Oh, that's adorable.
Now, if he's hiding off camera, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah. And then so you have your own law firm now, right? So
I do. So I have my own practice.
Not law firm.
Well, I mean, I have some of counsel. It's technically a firm because there's of counsel.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
So there's other attorneys I work with, or I will the firm will take the job, and then I might not handle it. Another attorney may handle it. Okay. Depending on what it is.
I just got done with Better Call Saul, so I'm
literally. You know what you're talking about.
I'm an expert right now at all of this. No, I have no idea what's going on. Okay.
No, you know, and it's just it's generally a solo practitioner, but you bring on because once again, the good thing, I'll tell you a trick about attorneys. How you know you have a good attorney is when they know what they don't know. If attorney says, I got everything, I know everything. And I could tell you the day I started practicing law, I knew a lot more than I know now because I thought I was the smartest person in the room. Right. Now I know, I'm like, I don't know.
I feel like that's just the best people in general, though. Like the best people know when they don't know something and are honest about it.
Yes.
In like almost any field of.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so I graduated in 2010 from law school. So I'm coming up on the 13th year. And I can tell you, like just today, I had a call and I'm like, I don't know the answer to that. I should know the answer to that, but I don't. I was like, give me a day. I'm going to figure it out. So what do? You go to, well, first of all, like I should say I do my legal research, but no, I pick up the phone and I call people who are probably smarter than me.
That's what I do too.
I text them. And if they say no, I move on to the next, or then there's different legal resources that you could obviously look at, but you want to make sure like a good attorney knows that. Good judges know that. Good practitioners know that. I mean, and probably across the board in any career because you want the best for your client. And you making something up and then getting there and then it not being correct is not good for anyone involved.
Tell you one good thing about having the podcast is our like circle of people that we now know that we can call about whatever topic comes up. It's like we have so many people that we can reach out to, and it's fantastic.
They're contacts.
Yeah,
we have lawyers, judges, politicians. Any you name it.
I can tell you with children, you want like the nurses and the pharmacist.
Yes,
those are big ones.
Yes, got those too.
How to dose Tylenol. My kid has this fever.
Dr. Nino, after helping us through COVID, Dr. Nino.
He's great.
He was our contact all through COVID, and after COVID, he's like, "Hey, why don't you come on over? You can be my patient." And he convinced me. So then now whenever I just text him. It's like the best thing in the world.
We have
just text him whenever I'm freaking out.
You can not go unsolicited.
Yeah.
You cannot go wrong at Pullen Medical. Between the weekend hours.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I've seen almost every doctor there because I've been going there since I think I was 12.
Yeah.
You don't go wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Agreed. So what is your practice? It's divorce?
No, I do a lot. I actually so when I just had Cam and he was a little bit older, I did a lot of criminal defense. Criminal defense is like hard.
Is that like fun?
It's great.
Yeah. Okay.
We were talking about that a little bit before.
So explain to him what you were basically explaining.
So you asked my opponent about criminal defense and how it is. And
why would you want to defend somebody?
That was a good question.
Who might be not such a good person. Why would you want to defend them? I was
like, I want them to ask me that question.
Okay, there you go.
That question. So when I started law school and you take prereqs and it's like criminal law, like you learn about just how criminal law works, the prosecutor's role, the judge's role, investigator, police officer's role, defense attorneys. And we had a very good criminal law professor. And he says, listen, criminal law, people are like, I don't want to be the sleazy defense attorney. He's like, listen, that is the hardest job. So the best attorney should be doing that because you have the uphill battle. He's like, but you're not protecting or justifying what they did unless it's a very slim cut affirmative defense, like someone punched you, so you punched them back. He's like, you are protecting their constitutional rights, which are the most important thing that we have here as citizens. In the American justice system, if everyone does their job, the police officers or law enforcement does it, the prosecutors do their job, the defense attorney does his job or her job, the judge does their job, the guilty will be found guilty, the innocent will be acquitted.
Right.
Now, does that always happen 100%? No. But that's how the justice system is
if everybody does their job the right way.
So as a defense attorney, you may have someone who did something really heinous, but you're not justifying their actions. You're making sure that those police officers did their job when they interrogated them, that he had his Miranda rights. You're making sure that evidence wasn't tampered with and was taken according to statute and law. You're making sure that the witnesses are telling the truth. You're making sure that everything that can be done was done. And if your client's guilty, that's generally how it's going. You're not defending their action.
You're making sure they're not throwing the book at him just because he's a piece of shit.
You're making sure that their
it's legal.
Constitutional rights are intact.
But the problem I have, though, right, is when people that are guilty get off on a technicality.
There are very few and far of those in between. But here's the problem. Someone didn't do what they were supposed to do. If a police officer doesn't Mirandize you and then tries to ask you incriminating questions, hoping that you do an excited utterance or a blurt out a confession, they know better.
But does that matter if that guy's a piece of shit that did something absolutely terrible?
Well, they should be doing their job. They should.
But I don't personally, it's my opinion. I don't think them not doing their job overrides this piece of human garbage. I
say that, but now I'm going to counter it, and it would be like, right, but what if you have somebody innocent that they don't do their job?
Like I say,
so you can flip it the other way.
What if you have a young gentleman who has no criminal history, not even a speeding ticket, and his live-in paramour decides that
Whoa. Living what?
Live in paramour. That means significant other.
Okay.
Whether it's another male or
you got to bring that down to
big words.
Seventh grade
level.
Seventh grade with us.
That's all you got.
Their significant other.
There you go.
Gets mad at them for some reason.
I believe she means, let's say, baby's mama.
Baby mama.
Baby mama. Okay.
Baby
daddy.
Whoever this is, decides, and they're kind of fighting or something, and they call the cops, and they say, so-and-so hit me, and they smack themselves around. And does it happen? Absolutely. Yeah. I deal with it every day. And this person's like, I've never been in trouble. I didn't do it. And they're like, well, we're going. You're getting arrested. They're signing a statement. You're getting arrested for domestic violence. And this can kind of trill in what we were talking about 2 weeks ago, that incident. You have an innocent person here. Do you want someone saying, well, this scum did it? You can't do that. You have to look at, you want that defense attorney to say, did the police do that? Okay, the police did everything right. By the book. Good job, police officers. Prosecutor charged it accordingly. Good job, prosecutor. Okay, let's talk to this victim. Let's go back. Oh, let's see this text message that you have that you send, and you get the phone records, and you said, I'm going to make your life a living bleep. But what did you mean by that? Did you mean you're going to call and, do technicalities happen? Absolutely. Have I won on technicalities? Absolutely.
Right.
Are they these Perry Mason suit moments that you see on TV? No. Generally, does things take a plea deal? Because there's always it's a risk. It's a risk going to trial. I mean, you're sitting next to the people who are your peers. They're not your peers. They're generally the better of the community, who may have never found themselves in this position, and they're staring at you and they're staring at your attorney, and they go, I don't want to be here. I'm making 12 cents today and my parking's validated. Like, let's get this moving. So you have an uphill battle, but as a criminal defense attorney, it is very interesting. It's interesting to see everyone do their jobs. It's interesting to talk to other attorneys and come on. And, and leading into that is kind of where I think, or hopefully if I get elected, how I would want to address some of these significant areas or issues in the law, like domestic violence. Domestic violence is one of, if not the most dangerous calls that law enforcement in this country go to. More cops are feloniously killed, meaning they're killed by an act of violence against that police officer on a domestic violence call than almost any other call.
And that almost happened 2 weeks ago, right?
That almost happened 2 weeks ago. That was a domestic disturbance that an officer responded.
For those watching at home that don't understand what we're talking about 2 weeks ago, there was a domestic dispute in North Lima in the Highlands. If you were listening to all that crazy stuff, we were posting about it on the podcast. In the Highlands, domestic dispute, officer shows up, and the ex-husband who was called for the domestic dispute walks out into the garage as the cop's walking in, throws something at the cop. Cop falls over, and then he pistol whipped him, beat the crap out of him so bad that's why they then called it in as a gunshot wound, because when the other cop showed up, it looked like he got shot in the face because his face was so messed up.
Wow.
But yeah, go on. Sorry. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Set that up.
And
Reset the pins.
Reset the pins.
We're talking a lot about me, but my
No,
husband
You're good.
is actually
Great guy.
I think we did say
Let me
he's off camera.
Doesn't have red hair, by the way.
Yeah,
I said
he does
that.
not have red
I made him mad when I said he had red hair the other day when we were talking about that.
Yeah, when he opened up, I think
When he helped you because you locked your keys in your car.
He shows up in my driveway and he's like, I've been waiting for this. And I'm like, son of because I lock my keys in the car.
so. He's a local law enforcement officer, and he was actually working at an OVI checkpoint. And I'll tell you what, I like to stick it like to the big guy. I like going in and fighting with police officers. It's one of my specialties. But I missed a couple calls because I'm getting our young kids to bed, and he actually radios into the baby monitor and goes, Jen,
Can you do that?
He can, and he goes, Jen.
Can you teach me how to do that?
Not ours. I mean, maybe another one.
No, like anyone's, like Maggie. Hey, Maggie.
Baby to mom. Come in, baby.
Maggie.
Come in, mom. Something like that. Wow.
Yeah. So he radios in, and I say some not nice words because I'm doing 3 kids. You know that.
Right.
You know we don't
Get off my body! I'm trying to put the baby to sleep. What the hell are you doing?
We don't. It's not like we do the same routine every night,
Right.
but we have to fight about it because that's what we do.
Right.
And he goes, Jen, you need to answer the phone. Why you answer the phone? I say my piece, which, looking back, I would have chosen my words differently. But I call him,
Yeah.
and he goes, Jen, there's an officer shot in Beaver. They sent us from the OVI checkpoint. We're going to be the first ones to respond.
Wow.
We're going in.
Shit.
We're sending him. He's like, don't call me. I might not be able to talk to you. So then I'm like, well, because I'm a good wife. I have Life 360. So I'm like, I'll watch him on that. That goes dead. Like it just stops moving.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just radio silence. So then I'm trying to find radio batteries.
Yeah.
I'm calling other cops who are not working. And I'm just like hysterical.
Yeah.
Like, because as a criminal defense attorney, like I want to stick it to the cops.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But that is my cop. Like that is my family.
What an interesting family dynamic.
And I was hysterical, and I don't cry. Like it is just not in. Like if anything, I like to have like an uncontrollable laughter when things go terribly wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like hyperventilating. I was up all night. People were calling me. I'm like, stop calling me. I don't know. I can't. You know, I don't want to call him because if he's in the woods hiding and his phone's up, because he would leave his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
Well, that's why. Like I said, I was up listening to it's on a website. You can listen to the thing, and I'm hearing names that I know. Because we know a lot of those cops.
Yeah, because we grew up. It was in the woods,
polling guys are there,
right behind
the
where we grew
sheriffs
up.
were there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at the Beaver Town,
Yeah.
we know a lot.
And
of
we
them.
have
Like,
we have contacts that were. I was calling my buddy who was driving home from Pittsburgh. He's on the SWAT team.
Yeah.
He was giving me updates of like what he heard. We have family members that are on Beaver, so like I was trying to figure out if my family member was the one who was shot in the face.
I couldn't imagine being married. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like I'm freaking out just because I know.
I
him.
knew
It's
he
like,
was
holy
safe at
crap.
that moment, but I didn't know what he was walking into.
Right.
I mean, they knew that they got what was relayed to most people at that time. There was a shot in the face, and that the officer's weapon was disarmed, and the perpetrator may have had that one. And you get the misinformation, and you don't want to call the people because they're working on things. They don't care that you're hysterical, crying, like holding your baby.
They're trying to get.
I call my mom. I'm not like hyperventilating. My mom's like, "What?" She comes. She lives 2 streets over. She comes over, and I mean, I called my Cam's dad, who's a police officer right over the border. He's calling people because he knows everyone. He's like, we're trying to and he's like, we're trying to find the frequency because there's different Beaver dispatches for themselves. Poland is dispatched by Austintown, Borman dispatches, so they're trying it was mayhem, and it was absolutely horrific. It was a really bad night, and it really puts it in perspective of young Struthers Municipal Court domestic violence is, unless it's an enhanced crime, meaning they've been convicted of it once, it starts out as a misdemeanor of the first degree, which is in line with what Struthers Municipal Court judge sees.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have done your research or anything, but a lot of courts can
Absolutely
No.
A lot of courts can have specialized dockets. And one thing that if I'm elected that I can get would be a specialized docket on domestic violence. One, because it's a very serious problem if it's actually happening. It's absolutely horrific. It breaks families up. A lot of these crimes and start as domestic violence and escalate to something even more serious. It's dangerous for our law enforcement officers. It's dangerous for our community members that are suffering from it and afraid to identify of it. And I would like to set up a specialized docket where there's intensive therapy and people are monitoring. These families are giving resources that it doesn't end up worse and they don't keep calling, because you still have the families that they call the police because they're fighting and then no one wants to press charges. And the police are like, what are we doing here? Like, what are you doing? It is something that's very important that I think Struthers Municipal and the communities that Struthers Municipal Court serves could fare well by. It's also, there's a thing called a victim advocate, and there's grants that courts can get. And a victim advocate, it speaks with the victims and it gives them their voice, because if victims sometimes, that's kind of hard. And if someone's already beat the snot out of you once, going in front of someone, and if you're not believed or the jury acquits them, chances are they're going to do it again. Oh. So it gives them that extra voice. And I know as a criminal defense attorney, Struthers Municipal right now does not have victim advocates. So the prosecutor, who does a very nice job, or the law director, but I have a right to go and talk to these people. And you almost feel bad. You're like, hi, my name is Jennifer Ciccone. I represent so-and-so. I want to talk to you about what happened here and what you want to see happening. And you're talking to victims that, first they could be, you have a spectrum of complete liars to someone who has been victimized over and over. And finally, for some reason, a charge stuck or something, and you have everything in between. And it's unfortunate. The prosecutor is not a social worker. He's trying to prosecute crimes. He's trying to weed through things. Right. The defense attorney, you're looking out for your client. So you don't want to go in with this bias that, someone's lying.
Yeah.
A victim's advocate could really just helps the process.
Here's Sarah saying, just had a victim advocate for a foster child. They heard her. She was amazing. This was awesome. On every court needs this.
Yes,
there you
absolutely.
Go.
And there's grants. So if she's talking about the victims advocate in Austintown, that her name is Amy. She is wonderful. Yeah. She's employed. I believe she's employed by the prosecutor's office. And there's some at Common Pleas, which is the big court with the felonies, like the murders, the rapes, the big crimes. Struthers Municipal does not have one, but there's grants available. So you can apply for that or have your administration apply for it and see that is added, if you do a specialized docket. So it's not like it's unheard of. It's not like it would even cost taxpayers money if they would get a grant for a certain. So I absolutely believe.
You want to answer some questions?
Sure.
We got questions. All right. So do you have any judicial experience?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
So going in.
Going in. Ready to go.
I like it. Okay. But do you feel, I guess we'll add on that. So what do you feel makes you ready to be a judge?
Well, I'm coming up on Ohio. I was licensed in 2013 in Ohio.
So coming up on
the 10 years.
Okay.
And I'm willing to learn. So right now I'm a practicing attorney.
Yeah.
I'm in Struthers Municipal Court. I see the workings.
Yeah.
I see what I like about it. I see what I would change about it. And that's different. I think I'm ready because I have the experience, but I'm also at that point in my career where I'm still not afraid to say, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
And that's where you lean on people.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great judiciary in Mahoney County. Actually, I would say in Trumbull and Columbiana. There's no gatekeeping. You can call. These judges are amazing practitioners.
Yeah.
They will set you up for success, regardless if you're Republican or Democrat. They are some great judiciaries. And once again, everyone starts off. You always have your first day. You always have your first day as an attorney, your first trial, your first, like, there's going to be a first. I do not have any judicial experience, but I'm willing to learn.
There you go.
I think, I'm from Poland. This is my community. I moved back here to raise my kids. And I think I think I have a good perspective of, the defense work. And I think that helps when you're doing it. But I just don't do criminal defense. I do divorces. I see how crimes carry past just the criminal realm, and you get into domestic issues and you get into juvenile. I practice in all these courts. I'm there every day. I try cases in these courts. So I think I have just a well-rounded experience. And once again, I'm not afraid to say I don't know everything.
Let me ask you. So what's interesting is you said a couple different things. So Judge Leone is done, right? When's he done? That would be
he goes through the end of this year.
His
term is to the end of the year.
You and Malone are running against Jim Malone are running against each other, both from Poland.
Yes,
which is pretty awesome, by the way.
I think he's from Boardman, but he lives in
Poland. Yeah, I mean, it's Poland now.
We'll claim him. We like him.
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess the question is, so with Judge Leone, you said you worked in Struthers. What, like, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We're not even going to get into that stuff with the whole thing with the mayor and stuff. But
I have no idea. I mean, I know what's going on, but I have specifically put on my blinders.
Yeah, Leone.
It has nothing to do with her.
Yeah, Leone put Kat put a like a restraining order or something like that on him.
Nice.
Because they were battling back and forth and
so
fighting.
So much that he was going crazy. Huh?
I have video I'll show you after.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Juicy. Can we post it?
I don't know if I'm going to post it.
I want to post it.
Okay, we'll have to ask whoever.
But he's out and end of this year.
He's out of this year. So then you have Jim Malone, who we had on, and she's
you don't have restraining orders. Does that have to go to the courts?
I like these comments because I see they're all sharing Jim Malone stuff. So I have a lot of Jim Malone fans. Maybe do you think I can convert them?
I don't know.
I mean,
so what do you think? What do you think Leone did good, and what do you think did bad? Can you give us anything?
I think one of the things is.
Sorry. There you go.
I don't necessarily if you can gauge judicial experience on good and bad.
Okay. He does run the court though, right?
What?
Like he runs doesn't he? Is he in charge of?
He's in charge of certain aspects of the court, the court. Yeah. I mean, he has his administration, but they speak to him. What I can tell you is let me tell you this. Dom and Jim were both invited to my wedding. So, I mean, I consider them both friends.
Awesome.
And Jim said similar things like all of you guys seem to get along very well.
I cannot say anything bad about either of them with personal experiences.
Yeah, right.
Now, can some people say bad things about them? Probably. Can some people say bad things about me? Absolutely.
Probably.
You'd be surprised some people can say some bad things about us.
Yeah,
and probably bad things about him.
Dan can say bad things about me, I'm sure. But no. He's like, pick me. There are things that I would like to do different than what Dom did. I would like to see the Struthers Municipal come up to technologically e-filing. I'd like to see a night court. So these are misdemeanor crimes. These are probation violations. These are civil evictions and stuff. A lot of these people, when you have a common pleas case, there's a very serious case. So taking off, you expect to be in court and doing, but the one thing that is important is that people work and people have different hours. So I would like to see the court be more of, maybe have some daytime, afternoon slots and then night court. So people aren't taking off work because some employers are like, you're not taking off of work. We don't care. Or you're calling, you're getting pointed out. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see e-filing. I like to see things like that updated. COVID really showed us where our judicial system across the country was lacking. I mean, and I would like to see specialized dockets. I think when a docket is formulated by people who understand not only, I'm not a mental health expert. So when you have someone who is providing input for treatment and purposes is to avoid recidivism, and that means to avoid people coming back into the system, you really can serve your community. That's what this municipal level court does. So that's what I would like to see. So I can't say what Dom did was bad, what Dom did was good. He was pleasant to me when I was there, very nice. He's always treated my husband very fairly. I've practiced, I don't don't think I've ever had a case in front of Magistrate Malone, Jim Malone.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's lovely too.
We learned last time that magistrate basically means assistant to the judge.
So the magistrate.
No,
Oh,
you
Jose.
actually said that. He never said that. Malone never said that. You said
AKA the judge's bitch.
that. Jim Malone never said that. You said that.
Hi, hi Jose. He's our neighbor.
You hang out with that guy?
Yeah.
You stay away from him.
Well, I mean, I wave
Bad
to
news.
him.
He's-
Oh, he's the
Bad
best.
news.
He's bad as he brings us booze. There's booze over there. It's all kinds of Jose.
I know. Jose gets us into trouble.
Let's see here. That's a good question. I hate, by the way, the tagging of judges for Republican and Democrat.
Well,
It's
anything
nonpartisan
local,
now.
Anything local.
Oh, now
It's nonpartisan, yeah.
But the primary,
The primary was because I don't know why. That's actually weird. And I
Isn't
don't
that
know the
weird,
answer.
right?
It's weird
it's got to
that
be
they.
something with the way you vote or something.
Yeah, but now it's nonpartisan.
So now you're not going to have a.
You
Okay,
can
there you go,
pick
Dan.
Whoever you think is the best candidate.
So you won't have a R next to your name or a D.
I will
next-
not, and neither will Jim.
I didn't know that.
But we were talking before this got started. We were talking about it, and we were debating on
Yeah.
if any position in local politics that you're voting for should have any kind of label of Democrat or Republican. And I was like, it would force people to do research if there wasn't, because
I
you
agree.
would
For
have to
local
figure
politics. I
out
think it's
where
great,
they
yeah.
stand on local politics. You wouldn't just be voting down the line. You'd have to figure out
I agree.
where they stand on the topics that you and where you want them to stand on
Not
the
just
topics at hand.
judges. Yeah.
Not just voting red or voting blue.
It's got to be something with the way the primaries are set up. Like,
What
you
was
should
your-
get someone from the Board of Elections.
maybe we get Beatrice. He's on the board of elections.
That'd be fun. He's my client too.
Because that would be someone who would answer the questions.
Beatrice?
I don't,
My
Well,
wife
I don't
watches
know
his
Beatrice.
dogs.
I don't think Beatrice is going to come on our show for some
It'd be
reason.
great. Well, no,
Um,
you were saying before. What were you saying about how they basically, if you see Republican or you see Democrat, it's where they stand on topics at hand, basically. But we can go to the comments.
Yeah. Sorry.
I get leery when brags, especially those running for
I don't think
judge.
you ever bragged about
You
that.
said, have you gotten people off on technicalities? Yes.
Yeah,
have
I
you
said
gotten?
absolutely, but
yeah.
does it happen?
It's not
I don't think
necessarily
it's
bragging.
Gino. I think that's the way, but I think you explained it well too, though, where it's like we're keeping
He
people
thinks
alive.
it's bragging, it's thinking, and he can be leery.
Yeah.
I invite
Yeah.
him to message me or call me.
Very
My-
good, Gino.
My cell phone 330-397-9370.
That's a
Love
that
Give me
could
a
be a
call.
possible county commissioner too. That's Gino, who's running against Dave Ditzler.
Well, good luck.
There you go.
Good luck, sir. But I would absolutely, I mean, I get leery of people who post things like that.
I would be
And
weird.
but I just broadcasted to 21 people my cell phone. You
There
can
you
go.
call and text me anytime.
There you
I'd
go.
be glad to speak with you. Actually, I think he's Republican, isn't
He
he?
is.
Yeah.
He is.
Ah.
He is.
Gino, I get leery of people who don't like guardrails in Mill Creek Park because they're made of metal.
I don't know what you're talking
He
about.
does.
It's 'cause
Oh,
Gino-
Gino does.
It's because Gino knows what I'm talking about.
I get leery of people who listen to 1940s music. Sorry, Gino. He's like, sorry. He accused him of calling him old the last time, so we're just taking
And
crack.
he said Mill Creek
It's-
Park. He said Mill Creek
I don't
Park
know
is
it. I'd
becoming
never
like
seen
too
the name
commercialized.
before.
Gino,
Metal
yeah,
signs.
he He's the one that lost to by like 30 votes to
Aw, bummer.
what was her name? Spaghetti.
Yeah, Spaghetti.
The county commissioner
Spaghetti.
stuff.
Well,
So,
better luck this time, Gene.
it's it.
Mr. DeFabio.
Let's see here. My invite must have gotten lost. That's from Jose. We learned something new. I believe everything above common pleas is partisan.
It is. Common pleas and above is partisan, meaning that there's an R or a party
I
association.
hate that with
Stupid.
judges. It shouldn't be like that.
Stupid.
It really shouldn't for judges. They should be middle of the road, middle ground.
But
That
what
annoys me.
what she was saying is that you would want a judge that would like be tough on what you want them to be tough on, and be if you can relate to them as a conservative, you could relate to them and be like, oh, they're going to be tough on these things. They're going to be tougher on these
I
things.
get it. But
You-
that's at like not in a Struthers Municipal Court.
Yeah.
I'm talking more like higher up. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but I still think it's
Well,
stupid.
like
So-
a Struthers, to put it in his perspective, Struthers Municipal Court does not have jurisdiction over felonies other than a preliminary hearing, whether to certain if there's
Right.
probable cause. But so that you're not dealing with a death penalty. So whether or not the judge is for it or the party's for it or something, I mean,
It's not even gonna affect
you have statutory penalties I can see why it's important in certain races. I can see why people say that they want to know the candidate. And I think that forums like this is what educates the voters.
Yeah. She said, just be nice to the dancing lady. That's Jose said that.
Okay, I'll try my best.
I have a question.
I'm nice
for
to everyone, I think.
A judge question. So, how do you feel about judges that might decide or rule something based on, like, I've heard this happen before where I'm getting reelected, so I need to be tough on this. So I'm sorry, but I have to vote, or I have to give you this because I'm getting reelected and I need to be tough.
Is that possible?
Does that happen?
I mean, anything. First of all,
happen?
anything's possible. I have never had that happen in my experience where a judge has come out and said, I'm doing this because I'm getting elected.
Have you heard that?
Absolutely.
What I can say is that any judge, no matter what level they're at, needs to decide the case on its merits.
Yeah.
And according to Ohio law or statute. Ohio laws are called statutes, by the way. Mm-hmm. So I've never personally had that happen. Could it happen? Yes. Has it happened? Maybe. I'm not, I don't personal knowledge, but what I can tell you is it's my firm belief that the judge needs to look at the merits of the case or the facts and decide accordingly. And you have to realize that judges, like if it goes to trial, unless it's tried to the judge, the jury makes the decision. The judge just oversees the trial, but then sentences.
Speaking of that, I got called to freaking grand jury today.
Did you? You want me to write a letter?
Do your civic duty, man. It's fun.
I kind of want to. I've never done it. I've always
my boss write a letter. I did that.
I've always
had my boss write a letter.
always weaseled my way out of it, and I kind of want to do it.
It's fine.
I'll fry somebody.
Nothing like 12
Well,
cents.
grand jury's just like whether or not to indict, so you're not frying.
Don't you go through an interview process? You're wasting your time. They're gonna kick you out. It's
actually a very informal process with the grand jury, but it's still
so wait,
fun.
What's a grand jury then? So what am I doing?
So a grand jury convenes and they go over felony cases that have been bound over from lower levels to see if there's enough probable cause to indict on those charges. Meaning, does this jury think is it a sign of guilt? No. But they say, with the facts of this, is there enough to prosecute this charge? And then they either indict or they remand back saying, no, it was a lesser charge, try again. Or they say, nope, nothing here. Bye-bye.
So so will the guy be there that's like getting tried?
No. It'll be a room like this.
I'll write a letter, dude.
It'll be a room like this with a prosecutor and a police officer.
Cannot miss
That's
work.
it. I still want to go do. I want to experience it.
I would
cannot miss work.
There are people that live their entire lives to be on jury duties. Like it's a good time if you can do it.
Where's the grand jury at? Where do I have to go?
Common Pleas, Mahoney County.
I'm gonna go do that. I just want to do it as a social experiment.
And then you have more material.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think you need to do it just for because I've always had bosses write excuses and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I've always had.
I'm gonna do it.
I can tell you this. I got selected to do the first time for jury duty. Struthers Municipal Court, May 1st, the day before the primary. I was like, put me in, coach. I'm ready.
Did they let you enter?
No, they resolved it. I was so disappointed.
I got called in for jury duty last year, and I called the lady and said, hey, if you were going to get a letter from someone and it was going to be like, what this person has to do to get off of jury duty, what would you need to see in that letter? And she's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes. What would you want to see in that letter to get that person off of jury duty? And then I took that.
I think you saying this right now is going to get us both arrested.
I took that.
Can you please not do that?
Had my boss write something up, and then I turned it in, and then they let me off. I didn't have to get jury.
I think is that what's it called? Contempt? Is that contempt? Look at her looking.
Is that legal or illegal?
That is total contempt.
It sounds not.
I think it's a contempt.
But I don't know. I'll look into it. When you get back, give me 24 hours.
She's going to be defending us now because you got out of jury
duty. If I need a defense lawyer, I'll call you.
Yes.
Oh my god, we might need your services eventually. I'm sure.
I'm sure something will happen.
Wow. So okay. So you're from Poland.
I'm from Poland.
I'm going to take this totally selfish approach question.
Okay.
What can you do for the people of Poland as the Struthers Municipal Court? Is it?
Like,
I don't know.
Like just overall?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very vague question. Like, I mean, are you talking about like implement court? Because
is there any benefits of having somebody living in Poland
No.
And nothing, right? Because you're going to call it like you see it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, I have never been said. I've been called a lot of things, but not calling it how I see it is not one of my problems. But what I can tell you is the jurisdiction. My parents are from Struthers in Louisville.
Okay.
I went to Poland. Poland's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And then we went to St. Paul's Church, which is out in New Middletown.
Because it's New Middletown,
New Springfield.
We learned that last time.
Petersburg.
Petersburg. Petersburg.
Big. It's big in our hearts. Louisville, Struthers, Poland Village, Poland Township.
That's just a little. Yeah.
So the nice thing and why they require judicial candidates to live within their territories is because you live in the community. You don't want rampant crime, and you want you take pride.
Yeah.
My husband's a law enforcement officer in the jurisdiction. We take pride here.
Right.
I want I convinced him. He's a Trumbull County guy. I convinced him to move to Poland, and he was like, "I'm paying a lot for his tiny house."
Yeah.
And why are you telling me to do this? And I'm like, "Don't worry about it." And now they want to build new schools. And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's a good idea. You made a good decision."
You did.
It's a great community.
Yeah.
We are blessed that we are not some of these communities that have some really big issues regarding crime.
Yeah.
But there's always ways to improve it. You see me, and the thing, I guess, with Poland, I mean, I go to everything because my kids play Springfield soccer. We are always at my grandpa's and Struthers, is that you see me in the community.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, I don't never know. Like Jen's the one probably screaming at her kid in the driveway. Saying a bad word because he's not listening to her. Like, welcome to the community. Right. Jen's at, sitting at a baseball game. Now, can I talk about cases if I would get elected? Absolutely not. Can you call me and say, hey, I got an OVI. Can you give me bond? Absolutely not. Like,
sorry, go on.
No, but I mean, I guess not necessarily Poland, but the jurisdiction in general. Like, this is my home.
Yeah.
I made.
You're going to defend it and
fervent effort to come back here and raise my family.
If you get elected, does your husband lose his job as a police officer?
No.
Is there a conflict there?
Are you allowed to
try his cases?
Yes.
Well, what I would do is if he would be the arresting officer or provide evidence.
So he arrests me.
I would. He arrests which one?
He arrests
either one of us. Both of us.
Both of you.
He comes over and arrests us.
I would immediately notify you, your counsel, of the conflict. And so we have a last name, so you won't know. Like, I haven't said his last name. So,
right.
People won't know. He does that though. That's plausible deniability. For my shenanigans.
Okay.
But no, I would notify of the conflict, and I would ask for the Supreme Court to assign a sitting judge that would oversee that case.
Screw that.
Because
freaking arrested me. I'm not dealing with his wife.
I'd be like, not guilty. Trust me. I had one case. I had one guy come in to retain me, and he's the arresting officer. I'm like, let me at him.
Right.
Let me at him.
Jose wants to know, will he be your bailiff?
If he applies.
That'd be so awesome.
Do you want to be her bailiff?
Oh, well, he
just said no.
Oh, I thought Jose wanted the position. No,
Jose, do you want to be her bailiff?
He's like, no, thank you.
No. That's the guy in Judge Judy that like walks up with the papers, right?
Me.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I was checking my phone.
Wait, you don't want to be the bailiff?
He gets yelled at enough.
That's a hard no.
Right.
I was gonna say, no mic, and you're not on camera. What is it like being married to an attorney / Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No comment.
Yeah. You get into an argument.
Yeah, is it like you're just like, oh, whatever, just walk out of the room?
I can tell you that when people meet him for the first time after knowing me, like my colleagues that have never run into him, they go, oh my God, I met your husband. He is the nicest man. That was not what we were expecting. And I was like, what were you expecting? They're like, a male version of you. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
If you think about it, though, so think about it. So the two people running, right? Running for judge. You have Jim Malone and her. She's married to a police officer.
Okay.
Think of the house dynamic there. Yeah. And then you have those two two lawyers or two judges. Could you imagine?
His a chief magistrate. His wife is wonderful. Like you can't
imagine that. Like the dynamic here is we should just have like.
I can assure you, the Malone household is a little bit more tame than our house. I can assure you.
It's just
they are wonderful people.
Kara says, as a fellow law enforcement wife, I'm close with many of my husband's coworkers. So hypothetically, could there be a conflict of interest with any of the officers from his department? That's a good question.
I would say, first of all, I'm close with a lot of police officers just because we work together.
Well, I was going to say you'd be an attorney.
Like, so you would talk to them no matter what.
I would say, come down to it, oath that if I was elected to this position, whether it's my husband, well, I would conflict myself out personally for my husband, that I will never part and never have, I can say proudly since I've been practicing, have ever put a personal relationship over my job in that case. So let's say there's guardian ad litems. They are attorney. You could not be attorney, but I'm an attorney signed to represent the best interests of kids in a contested divorce or juvenile case. And, some of my best friends are the attorneys. And I'm like, I'm siding against your client. And, you don't take it personally because we have a duty. So hypothetically, once again, never say never. If I thought that I couldn't remove, for whatever reason, if I couldn't remove that myself from that, I would absolutely recuse myself. But once again, you can Chief Wilson would be the first person to tell you that I'm not afraid, who's his boss, to go. We've had our go arounds, and I love Chief Wilson. He's an amazing, he's a great dude, but have we had our moments? Absolutely.
We have two amazing police chiefs right now
in the village and the township.
Lambert and Wilson. I mean,
I've met Lambert. I don't know him personal. I've interviewed. He seems like a very nice gentleman. I've known
both of them.
Chief Wilson for some time. He's great. You have great departments. You have great chiefs all around. Like the law enforcement community in this area is amazing.
We met the Lowville police chief.
Chief Ali. He's the best.
When we dropped the check off, when we donated the money, he was the one that was in the school. Do you remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Because I saw him out, and he was taught. Yeah, and he's like, oh, I remember.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, that was the police chief because we donated like 7,000 or whatever that was.
Yeah, when we raised money.
Chief Roddy from Struthers, Chief Protopapa in New Middletown.
Never met those two guys, but the other
Protopapa was from the village.
What a
He's
name.
Very nice. He actually lives in Poland too. Very nice gentleman. Wow. We have great law enforcement.
Oh, 100%. Oh, I'll put our guys, the village guys in the village and the township. I'll put those guys against. I mean, they're literally the best. What is
on top of security of the world, Craig? I know that movie. What is that? What is that? Jose.
I don't know. I don't even know. I'm confused.
My name is Jose.
I have no idea. Let's see here. All right. So when is the election? Is November?
Yes.
You got some time still.
Yes.
It's gonna be good, right? This is
gonna be great.
And you know Jim.
I
right?
do.
So it's gonna be like nice. Oh, it's not gonna be a dirty election.
Right? Never. It was funny because we average about one phone call a week to each other about something funny or hey, heads up, this is coming down the pipeline.
Right. Okay.
I couldn't think of a better opponent.
Yeah, that's good. He seems really nice. And his wife was fantastic.
You're not supposed to do this, but I it's hard not to because he's a great guy.
Yeah.
His family's great. I actually know his wife better than I know him because I practice. She's lovely.
Yeah.
She's just,
it's gonna be good.
It's good.
Thank you for your donation to our event in June too, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's awesome. Did you go last year?
Yes, we did. I had just had we didn't say the whole
baby.
Yeah, she was only a couple months old.
Yeah.
So I was still
it was packed.
It was.
And this year I think is gonna be more packed on Thursday. So on Thursday. I didn't tell you this yet. Okay. On Thursday, I told you this part, but not the second part. Bake Me Treats. Bake Me Treats are having a watermelon festival up here.
I saw that.
Right?
Yeah.
So then we have our event down there. Huh?
Watermelon festival?
It's like Watermelon Summer Festival. Summer Watermelon Festival. So Gabby's coming on.
I'm down for it.
We are going to have a contest to see who can fit more of their mini cupcakes into their mouth. Do you think you
No, I think you're gonna win because you have a giant
My
face.
mouth is so bad.
You have a massive face.
So we're gonna see how many cupcakes, but that has nothing. That's neither here nor there.
Egghead over here is gonna dominate.
So humongous. If you're watching, humongous announcement on Thursday of what's gonna happen on our event.
Oh, I like that. I'm excited for that.
Humongous, game-changing, town-changing. You as a Poland graduate, you might have a heart attack.
Yeah, ruffling feathers.
We'll tell you when we go off the air.
We'll tell you.
We're
going
gonna
to
give you. We're gonna give you. It's a secret, and it's
secrets.
gonna be insider information.
Also, being since you're a part of the upcoming election in November, let us run by a salesy thing while we're live on air. Think about doing like a sponsorship thing where it's like $500, and you would get to advertise in any of the groups.
Our Facebook groups,
like Everything Poland, everything.
Okay.
So just
Lowville,
the
middle top. No, we don't
just,
have the middle.
And it's totally, you get to advertise yourself, but we're totally selling out and trying to just get every single politician we possibly can on this thing.
Intentionally sell out.
But other people, who knows? We're gonna try and get Jim Malone on there too to advertise in the group.
Everybody.
So, just competing.
There are very strict guidelines for judicial
Really?
candidates.
Is there really?
We never thought about
That's
that.
why I took him. He's the treasurer. He does it because I'm
There's
sitting.
real strict.
Can you advertise
You
on the
have
news?
Yeah, you have to format how you do it. Though it has to have certain language and stuff. So
That's like us as loan
if
officers.
it
We have to do the same thing.
complies with it, you have to
Yes.
say paid for by
the
committee to elect Jennifer Scone.
But we're not
and
worried about that
things
stuff. You guys figure that stuff out. But
I
it's
will
there
figure that,
if
and
you're-
if it complies with the judicial candidacy law,
I don't know, Malone said
I
he
would
might.
just-
Malone said he might do it.
I'm sure.
this-
he
this-
would.
This is
10,000
Isaac.
people
This is
in our
Isaac's. So Isaac wants to do it not to make money, but to just make the politicians pay.
Yeah, because I hate the government.
So, but
And
she's a
stuff.
judge.
I
And this is
hate-
different.
I know this is a judge. I just don't like
Like
politicians.
Gino,
I don't
if you
like
want to post, if
I
you're watching,
can tell you
$500.
a couple things I've learned.
What's up?
It is never I've never campaigned for anything in my entire life.
Right.
I've spent most of my life convincing myself I don't care what people think of me.
It's kind
And
of
then when it comes back and you kind of do, you got the precious feelings deep down there somewhere.
Yeah,
And another
Luke does,
thing
for sure.
is,
Wait, what do I have?
Precious
feelings about what people think.
Think
You
about
sound
things.
upset. Burning.
My
I mean-
wife literally says there's something mentally wrong with the fact of how much I don't care what people think. Like,
Well, and that's a good quality to have because there's nothing more brutal than getting up and going door to door and trying
Is
to
it rough?
and putting yourself out there, and people go, "Oh, Struthers has a court." These people don't care. They don't know. Or let me tell you the perfect story. The one time, the one person talked to me, I couldn't get off the doorstep because you don't know how to stop it, and they talked to me how great they thought Dom or Jim was. And I'm like, he's wonderful. Thank you. I was like,
yeah.
it's wonderful. Then the next day, like I couldn't get, everyone's telling me how much they wish me luck or they're going to vote for, like, at that time it was either Dom or Jim.
Right.
And I said, well, just get out there, do your civic duty, go get them. And then my grandpa calls me and he was like, I had a really nice conversation with Jim Malone. I was like, yeah. And he goes, I was like, did you tell him I'm your granddaughter? He's like, no, that would have soured the conversation.
Thanks, Grandpa.
I was like, got him.
That's fantastic.
Got him. So I can tell you that there is nothing more real than campaigning and finding out about how much people like either don't care about you or are not going to vote you. And you're like, all right, I'll go. I'll go. And then you find these people, they're like, I've heard about you. That would be awesome. Like first woman, because Kat made history with my mayor.
And she's freaking
my
sweet.
cousin.
Love
She's
Kat.
wonderful. My cousin was the first woman full-time police officer in Struthers.
Really?
Emma Bernal.
Okay.
So let's keep the train rolling.
I
I
think
think
that's
it's time.
fine.
We're time running, but really, it's brutal. I mean, November, I'm ready for it, but it is.
Well, here's what we're gonna do when we get closer to November. We're gonna have both of you two guys back on, like not at the same time.
when we were running once again, because
Yeah.
Malone and I have a good relationship. I know I shouldn't be saying his name. He was like, don't say his name a lot. But now that we know he was a competitor, he was like, he's like, we should have a debate. I'm like, I want a duel. I want like Alexander Hamilton duel.
Well,
Like,
we'll do a
straight
debate.
up.
We could do a debate if you guys wanted to.
Yeah,
We're gonna need people to submit questions because we're not.
Yeah.
doing it.
I don't want to submit. I kept telling you guys to be nice to me.
We were nice.
but
You did great.
you were
I
very
thought we were
nice.
pretty nice.
I thought you were very nice.
Yeah, we didn't turn. Yeah,
I mean, the thing is,
But-
we don't know enough to ask like really hard hitting questions. We're not,
especially from like
smart
from
enough.
like we did with the school board when we did that one.
But we
knew.
gathered questions.
Yeah,
from the
we
public.
could gather questions from the public and then
If
we
you
just
want-
ask
That
them.
would be great.
Let's do that. You want to do that?
It was James.
Like a,
He's gonna be
like a
so
thing?
mad at me, and I don't want him to be mad.
No,
at me.
he said he would do it.
So
He asked
do
him.
like, we do
did
like
he?
a
when we had the
forum,
thing, he said the
like
same
a
thing.
forum like we did before, and then we
Yeah.
have you both sit down in here and we ask you the same question,
Yeah.
and then you answer it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No,
Okay, I don't want him to be mad at me.
No,
No,
we
no.
asked him that and he said yes.
Okay.
And we actually asked Gino too for the county commission.
Bring Gino in, huh? I think I made a new best friend.
Gino.
Right.
No, he'll message you now. He's gonna message you. I
Oh,
promise.
you think so?
100%.
Good. I hope so.
All right. So that's an hour. How was that an hour already?
that was quick.
Wow. All right. So thank you. Good luck. We're gonna have you guys.
Thank you for
We'll have
having
you
me.
both back on, and if
Awesome.
we'll talk to Jim, and if you guys want to do like a debate, we'll have the public ask questions.
That's great.
We'll read the questions. You won't know about them. And
I'm
we'll
gonna make Dan be a heckler.
We could put Dan there and Malone's wife next. So
Yeah,
we'll
we're
just
gonna
like
get 'em.
that. Yeah, exactly.
We showed up a lot of the same events, and we
Mhm.
always, once again, they're my friends, so
Yeah.
I go up and talk to them. At the one event, there is Dan and Jim had the same outfit on, so that was fun. I was like, it's all about the confusion, man.
Right.
And then their kids have red hair, and one of our children has red hair, and
Yeah.
we call him like a campaign liability because he's foreign, kind of swears sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send them in and say they're Malone's
Kind
kid.
of swear.
Put them in, say they're Malone's kids. Get them off. But I told them. But yeah,
All
we
right.
see each
The
other.
crowd. Look, the crowd wants a debate.
They want to debate. I don't see any debate.
No. Yes, debate.
Oh,
Lisa says that. I think it's good.
Lisa.
Yeah.
I think I learned so much from that forum with
With
the
the-
school board members and the
Oh,
village council.
when we
thing.
did the village council
When
too.
we did both of those, I learned like so much.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, we'll do that. So, all right. Well, good luck. Thank you again for your donation. We'll see
My
you.
pleasure.
We'll see you in a couple weeks when you come
yes,
to the party. If it's all right,
absolutely.
we're gonna tell you
Coming.
before you leave the top secret.
I want secrets.
Thursday, you got to watch. We're gonna have Gabby on and big time news, big news breaking on Thursday. So for our
Poland.
thing.
The Poland old heads are gonna freak out.
Oh my God, they're gonna
Just
die.
wait.
They're gonna
Just
die.
wait.
So all right, we will see everybody Thursday. And again, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Silent guy over there.
Thanks for
real
helping
quick,
Luke
real
out of
quick.
his car
Get
when he
him
got
over
locked
there.
in.
Get him over there.
There he is.
So
On his
mad.
way. There he is. Yeah.
He's
All
gonna
right.
be so mad.
He's gonna be so mad. All right. Yeah. Thank you for letting me out of my car. By the way.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you to Breger Machine, Valley Insurance, as well as Kushner's. We appreciate you for being our sponsors.
Camera's messed up.
We're gonna get the heck out of
Camera's
here.
messed up.
Also, if you ever need a home loan, MLO Bros stands for Mortgage Loan Originator Brothers. We are loan officers. You're getting a divorce and you need to refinance, give us a call. You buying a house and you need financing, give us a call. You need debt consolidation, give us a call.
We have a couple of those divorce things going on right now.
Divorces, debt consolidation. We got refinances out the wazoo right now. Give us a call. We'll take care of you.
All right. Thanks again. Jen, we'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody. See you Thursday.
Bye. Hey, give us a like down below too. We only have 2 likes right now. We need like 19. There's 19 people in here. We need at least 19 likes before you
I'm
leave.
not liking it.
No, there was a lot.
Maybe an angry face if you don't like it, or like a thumbs down if you can even do that.
Those are my
But-
favorite.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.